Hey guys, it's Noah. Long time no see. I know this still isn't the video I was planning, but I'm just gonna hop right into this because my homegirl sent me some things and I'm pissed. Like I'm truly am. So this is gonna be all over the place. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all Genshin Impact stands have lost your goddamn minds. I've been knew y'all's fandom had a racism problem, but this is ridiculous. Making a blackface Kusanali because people want more skin colors? Really? Black folks aren't even the only ones talking about colorism, but this sentient trash can hyper-focused on us and thought, I'm gonna do blackface. Like, congratulations on your reservation to hell, I hope it's awful. And I already know someone's gonna argue, don't generalize the fandom, it was just one troll, it was just one person. Well, it was one too many, and this isn't the only time some anti-black BS happen. When you see something, you say something. Silence is how bigots get comfortable. They're like a cancer. If you leave them alone, they're gonna spread. And while I'm choosing violence, screw the entire Genshin Impact fanbase. I'm glad no one likes y'all, because y'all really out here harassing and trolling black and brown players for being vocal about just wanting darker skin, talking about it's just a game. Meanwhile, y'all are the same weirdos who went on entire campaigns against Hoyoverse when they changed Barbara's voice lines, when they made Rosaria's breasts smaller, when Raiden didn't synergize with Beto or wherever y'all are mad about, and last but not least, the entire anniversary fiasco. Hoyoverse didn't give good anniversary awards, so y'all mass support their tweets, spam them on all platforms, harass their voice actors like y'all always do, and review bomb their games. Not even just Hoyoverses, games that had no affiliation with this company caught strays because y'all were mad. But when minorities simply ask for diverse skin colors in a region that calls for diverse skin colors, suddenly it's, oh, it's just a game, go touch grass. Funny how that works. And the people who did those things didn't get nearly the same amount of flack minorities are currently getting. The way y'all reacting to this, you would think we're demanding Hoyoverse to change Hutalo's element or something random. And let's talk about the opposition to adding darker skin colors and how it literally makes no sense. First of all, Sumeru is a combination of the Middle East, South Asia, North Africa, and their respective cultures, which should have been a red flag in itself, but that's a different conversation. Anyway, these regions have a variety of skin colors, so it's not ridiculous to expect a region that takes from these cultures to consist of people who make up said culture. No one is saying pale people don't exist in these regions. Again, no one is saying pale people do not exist in these regions. What folks are saying is that because the actual regions also have dark people, we should also be getting dark characters and NPCs in game. That's it. It's not rocket science. No one is asking you to care about the skin color issue. You are more than welcome to not care and express that you yourself personally do not care. That is fine. But if you don't care, leave it at that. Leave the people who do care alone. You claim that you don't care and that this is a non-issue, but you're replying to people unprovoked, consistently trying to discredit arguments, insulting and mocking the minorities who are speaking out, and making memes about the situation, stroking your superiority complex. Clearly you do care and clearly you choose to participate in loser behavior. Skin color doesn't matter, yet you're opposed to adding more. Interesting. Second, folks are saying, well, it's a Chinese game, so they shouldn't be forced to conform to Western standards. Which, bro, including and respecting the existence of non-white people isn't a Western standard. Just say you're racist and go. And as other people have brought up, Dislyte is another Chinese game and has no problem with adding multiple skin colors, so clearly it's possible. Genshin can include furry animal people, but not anyone who fails a paper bag test. Come on, this game is freaking huge, it won't hurt the company. But hey, let's give this to the anti-Westerner weebs who undoubtedly live in the West. Let's say that as a Chinese game, Genshin doesn't have to include black and brown people. Ignoring the fact that there are regions based on Germany and France, and the anti-Westerners have no problem with the inclusion of white people for some, wacky reason. Also ignoring the fact that black and brown people live in all these places, including China and Japan, but let's just ignore all that. Let's just say that as a Chinese game, Genshin doesn't have to include black and brown people. In order for the argument to work, Genshin and Hoyoverse have to leave us alone, meaning the hilly trails that are based off of indigenous African folks, the cultural influences behind Sumeru, and whatever they got planned for Natlan, all that would have to go. Because you can't take inspiration from these cultures, profit off of them, and then expect people of said culture to just not have opinions about it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Hey, so I also forgot to mention Edo, Senyan, and Black American culture. So in the Genshin English dub and localization, Edo uses the AAVE, and in the birthday voice line he raps and beatboxes for the Traveler. As for Senyan, we all know she loves rock and roll. It's a major part of her character. But rock and roll has black origins. It started with black people. Normally all this would be whatever and I wouldn't give it much thought, but with the context of everything that's going on, it's become an issue. Because what y'all are essentially saying, Genshin can include aspects of our culture, no problem. But niggas ain't allowed in the actual game. Funny how that works. Mind you, I never went to Genshin with the expectation of having unambiguously black characters. We all know how anti-black China can be, it's no secret. So personally, I'm fine with just selling for brown characters. But when the game chooses to take aspects of various cultures, purposely exclude something as simple as melanin, and then the ragtag community gets racist and tries to justify it, that's what I take issue with. If Genshin was solely a Chinese and Japanese inspired game and was kept exclusive to Asia, yeah, the Western argument could possibly work, but that's not the case. Hoyoverse gave Genshin a global release for maximum profit, and with said global release opened themselves up for global criticism. That's normal. And another thing that pisses me off is how POC are never allowed to discuss race and colorism in this game without being dismissed. You say one less than favorable thing about child or albedo, you'll get essays in all caps about how you're wrong. That's fine, that's normal. But when folks try to talk about something with actual substance, something that actually affects them and contributes to a bigger issue at hand, oh, it's just a game, be quiet, it's not that deep. If it's not that deep, then let folks talk about it. Like, if it's so inconsequential and minuscule of an issue, there should be no problem with having it discussed, right? And this exact behavior is why the skin color conversation blew up the way it has, because it's been suppressed for almost 2 years. Every single time colorism was brought up, y'all said, just wait for Sumeru. Mondstadt and them ain't the right nations. Sumeru will have all the coloreds, so just be quiet and be patient. For almost 2 years, it was wait for Sumeru, be quiet and wait for Sumeru. So when we finally get character model leaks for Sumeru and there's 50 shades of beige, yes, people are going to be frustrated, and they have every right to be, because y'all helped set that expectation. And now the narrative is, well, the characters are pale because they live in the forest areas, but darker characters live in the desert, so it makes sense that we're going to get them later. Bro, sometimes people are just brown. Like, they're just dark. Sometimes people are just dark and brown. Like, regardless of the environment, they're born that way. Why does there always have to be a reason as to why we can't just exist somewhere in fantasy of all things? Clee's a damn elf. Diona's a cat, and I don't know what the hell Sucrose is. There's never any arguments, explanations, or whatever about why they exist or how. They just do. Bro, Paimon? Literally no one, and I mean no one, in game or in real life knows what Paimon is. She doesn't even know what she is. She's just this annoying flying child thing, and everyone just accepts it as normal. She literally just exists. Why can't there be brown people just existing in the forest? Why is a terrorist elf child amongst humans possible, but a character of melanin being anywhere isn't? By the way, these are all rhetorical questions because I know the answers are racism and colorism. Anyway, the only good counter argument I've seen is that Sumeru isn't out yet, so there's still a chance we'll get brown and dark skinned characters. And that's absolutely true. I hope that's the case. But I don't fault other POC for being reactionary given everything we've seen so far. Watch, when we finally get one, the racists are going to be like, well, are you happy now? You got the character you wanted. And to that, I'm going to say, name every brown character in this game, released or otherwise. Oh, you're finished? That was quick. Now name every other character in this game. Make a list and compare the two. If you still don't get it, then you don't want to and you need to work on yourself. But hey, all this is just my personal opinion that no one asked for. I am very tired. Bye. Bro, what if the next dark character in Genshin is a villain or Fatui Harbinger? I will literally scream.